Why is my organization failing to adopt a lean agile mindset? Why do we resist being transparent about goals and progress? Why can't we trust one another? Why don't we exhibit shared ownership?
I would politely suggest to you that the issue is one of virtue, individual virtue. The messages around the fundamental shift in a lean agile culture are getting lost at the level of the individual, because the individual has been incentivized and has seen success to a large extent, ascending through the structure of the organization as it was run in the past. They were taught a very individualistic approach towards trying to manage and control to outcomes. In the target culture under Lean and Agile, it's about sharing experiences and becoming very adaptive to the changing needs of customers and employees. This is a team-centric, holistically connected type of approach, which is radically different. If we don't address the tendencies of individual virtue to come into the picture, then we wind up with the fallacy of a prescribed revolution, so to speak. And by that I mean a more centralized approach towards intentional, radical improvement. Think about it for a moment. On an individual basis, let's say that you wanted to improve in some way. This is basically an admission that you know something's missing. But how do you know exactly the degree of that gap? And more importantly, what to do about it? If you knew how to improve, then you wouldn't suspect that you need to improve. If you knew how to improve, then you would have already improved. So this is why I call it a fallacy of a centralized revolution towards improving the corporate culture, towards improving the culture of the organization holistically. You would have already done it if you had the answers. So here's the second point to be very mindful of. There is, as with all things in life, where there's demand, supply arises. Not all contributors to that supply are created equal. There is a large influx of agile coaches in the market presently. One of the key things you need to look for, and this is what Harmony Consulting offers, you need experience in the target state culture, and that experience should be as high as possible within the organization. By example, I have 20 years formally leading in senior leadership roles in lean, agile cultures. Probably a good 6 to 8 years of that time was in the totally traditional culture, so I've seen the pain. I have incredible empathy for the state of things under the traditional approach to leadership. And I would say that probably 2/3 of the time I successfully helped my peers in senior leadership and through leadership throughout the entire company to transition that culture from the traditional towards the lean, agile, adaptive culture. But again, the key point, the problem with thinking about this in a virtue type of way is the problem of self-improvement. It's like lifting yourself up with your own bootstraps. It can't be done. So when you go shopping for coaching support, how are you going to evaluate those coaches becomes the key question. You know, when we spend a lot of money on something in life, like a BMW or an RV or a home, we are naturally excited about it. We better be. We just spent a lot of money on it. But that also creates a bias, a blindness to the purchase. You need an objective way to evaluate inbound and during the engagement, the quality of that engagement, the quality of the support that you are receiving, supposedly from someone who has been there and done that. This is why you need me with Harmony Consulting. You need that experience of someone that's lived a great period of their career on both sides of the tracks. Current state, future state, culture, and has actually taken large groups of people there. Look in my profile and you'll see more detailed videos on some of my experiences to help you have the peace of mind to assess that which you don't yet know.